Brought another edition of Riding Home. Now, Stetson Bennett with a big day at the NFL Combine, and seemed to run fast, but could have run faster, and just really had I think he had a very good day throwing it. Yeah, this is a good day for Stetson Bennett. I think that he measured in terms of height as well as high as he did, and his weight was not over 200, which I think would have been challenging for Stetson to hold that right, but he looks good, and that's the part I think that is going to be challenging moving forward here. I mean, I don't know what I mean by that, in terms of the challenging part. Hold on, I gotta turn the wheel. I don't know if Stetson, I think he may have really helped himself in a way that people did not expect today. That's my just gut in looking at sort of the reaction, watching it, all that stuff. I mean, Stetson, some of the throws, they were where you wanted them to be, but it was the run, the throw, and the way he looked, I would say, more than anything. To me, I think he helped himself a lot. Now, this is just my reaction immediately on a Saturday night. I don't know what everybody else who covers the NFL on a day-to-day basis, I don't know what they're actually, the discussion is there. Obviously, I have no clue what the franchises are saying, but he had a day that I think really did help him. And when you're considering the situation Stetson was in after the arrest, with a lot of, what in the world's he doing, today helped. But it's not surprising that the guy played well when you really had to play well. Again, his physique has developed. He looks good. I think that Bryce Young today was over 200 pounds, shorter than Stetson. And I think the concern with with Bryce Young has been size, height, weight. Weight is probably where it needs to be for a lot of these NFL teams. So Bryce Young may well have checked boxes there. But, I always thought Stetson was short. Now, listen, I'm 6'5", 240 pounds, so I'm a big person. And Stetson, it was, for me, in the summer at Media Days was the first time I've seen Stetson in person in a while, obviously, because that was July. And we'd gone, since essentially April. I actually saw Stetson in June in person, but I wasn't. He had definitely added mass and weight and all that in the summer. I saw him in early June, and that was sort of middle to late July. It was clear in that 6-week period of time that he had done a lot of work that had paid off, that you could see. So and then today, I think that today was a major step forward for him. Now, what does that really mean for Stetson? That's the hard part to know. What are we really talking about here when you start talking about his situation coming into this thing? I don't know. I don't know if he'll throw again. I think he had such a good day that I'm not sure I would throw again. And if you don't throw again, then, I think he may run again, because I think he had a good run. I don't think he had an unbelievable run. I mean, at that 4.6, whatever it was, he certainly pulled up. He did not finish that run the way that I have seen him run before. Sorry, I had some issues here. Obviously, I'm not in my car. I don't know if people can tell that or not, but I'm not. So we're having some technical difficulties, as they say. But I thought, this is a good, really marker to lay down if you're Stetson. I think that I thought the other day, when you start thinking about there are multiple SEC quarterbacks that are in this draft. There are multiple guys that you can compare Stetson to directly. Bryce Young, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. These are all SEC quarterbacks. None of them had the on-the-field success Stetson did, because no one won the national championship the last 2 years besides Stetson. But in terms of where, Bryce Young was at coming into this thing, these days, like, people, they want to make it like, oh, it's people are running around in underwear. Yeah, that's right. I mean, but it's just one aspect of it's just one aspect of the evaluation process. Back in the day, Chad, Rusty, they would put on these combines. They still do. They're just not as important as they once were. Okay, God bless them. But they know what I'm saying. It's the truth. But it would give you the ability to see Isaiah Crowell in person, Deshaun Watson in person, David Andrews, Corey Moore. There were a lot of guys, Ray Drew. Some of them didn't work out. A lot of times they did, but it would give you the ability to, okay, well, this is what this guy really measures at, This is what this really is. For quarterbacks at the combine, yeah, I mean, I think it matters a lot. I think it matters a lot what the throw, what do they look like? Last couple turns coming up here. The throw, what do they look like? Stetson really did look good in the shoulders in particular. Here comes the turn. Stick with me. And then the throwing got people's attention. And I don't know how you could have watched Stetson over the last few years and been surprised with what you saw today. I don't think anything that we saw today was a surprise last turns. Not for me. I mean, I've seen Stetson throw it since 17-ish, and he can throw the football, man. I mean, no doubt. The running part was the part for me that, I thought he'd run a little better than that, to be honest, y'all. I thought he really would. We're going to go a little bit further over here. And he can run faster than he ran today. I can't. I couldn't come close to running like that myself, but I'm not that kind of athlete, never was. Not like that. Never was that sort of, that's not what big guys do. But little guys, it was a good day for Stetson Bennett. I can't speak to every other quarterback. I don't know. I didn't see every single guy that threw, but you've got guys like, Anthony Richardson, who is just going to look great in these scenarios. Will Levis is probably going to really look good. But for Stetson, I think after today, he will certainly be drafted. I thought he would be drafted. I mean, maybe I'm making too big a deal about the public intoxication. I don't think I am, because I think everybody will use that against him, and everybody's going to use it against him until the team that wants him gets him. The question now becomes, where does he really go? I mean, where does he really go? Do people value him as a backup, or do they say this guy is our practice squad guy? Do teams in the AFC, what is that, North with Pittsburgh and Baltimore, do they say, oh, we'd really like him in our franchise because he looks like he can be Lamar Jackson for us, and we deal with Lamar Jackson twice a year, so we're just gonna take this guy and let him be our hedge against Lamar Jackson. And then, I don't know what the Bears are gonna do, but there could come a moment there with the FC, with particular quarterbacks. I don't think that Stetson would mimic Justin Herbert, but in a way, he could be like Patrick Mahomes with the ability to move. Any quarterback, this is the way these franchises think. If there are two quarterbacks that are both pretty mobile in the same division, and Lamar Jackson just immediately jumps out because he's, that's a guy that's special, and that Stetson is a lot alike, to be honest with you, in terms of his ability to run. If there are two guys like that, two mobile quarterbacks, so to speak, in the same division, a team that's going to play against them and get value for Stetson in dealing with him in practice 4 times a year, as well as having him on your roster, then you're starting to talk about real value there. And then someone will say, shit, coach, I don't want him to drop anymore. That's our guy. This is where the value is at. I don't think it's crazy to think he could go in the 3rd round. I don't at all think it's crazy to think he can go in the 3rd round because Stetson Bennett has real value. Do I ever think he's going to be a franchise quarterback? I do not. I don't. Do I think he could be a starting quarterback? In some situations, he's better than Baker Mayfield. And, Baker Mayfield went number 1 overall. So the knocks on Stetson are size. Really, I would start with age, size. Those are 2 things he cannot really control. After that, can he play football? For sure. Is he a winner? For sure. Does he make mistakes off the field? He did. Is that going to prevent you from drafting him in the 1st round? I don't know the history of every single guy that's a quarterback in the 1st round. He's definitely not going in the 1st round. I don't think there's any question after that. After that, I think his sweet spot is anywhere from 3rd to 6th round. I think that's where it seems like Stetson will go, but we'll see. And anyway, hey, sign up for the newsletter. The link is down below. Sorry about all the moving, but sometimes what's been happening today? We've been getting the books out, and so that's really one thing that's going on right now. My car is loaded up with about 500 double dogs, so that's why I'm in this car. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the website.